अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की
जय
मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की
जय
नवदीप मायापुर धाम की
जय
गंगा माई की
जय
यमुना माई की
जय
भक्ति देवी की
जय
तुलसी महारानी की
जय
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय
समवेत भक्त वृंद की
जय
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to assembled devotees
हरे कृष्णा
all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all
हरे
glories to
बोल
Srila Prabhupada, all glories
हरे
to
हरि
Srila.
बोल हरे कृष्ण
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो
ॐ नमो
भगवते
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम
ॐ
नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो
ॐ नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय
वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna. Everyone, welcome to today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. And today we'll be doing verse number 30, Canto 3, Chapter 19, verse number 30. And these are the prayers by demigods. So we'll recite the verse. Deva Uchu Namo Namaste Khil स्थितौ ग्रहीता मल सत्त्वमूर्तये दृष्ट्या हतोऽयं जगताम् अरुन्तुदस् त्वत्पादभक्त्या वयम् ईश निर्वृतः देवा ऊचुः नमो नमस्तेऽखिलयज्ञतन्तवे स्थितौ गृहीतामलसत्त्वमूर्तये दिष्ट्या हतोऽयं जगताम् अरुन्तुदस् त्वत्पादभक्त्या वयम् ईश निर्वृतः देवा ऊचुः नमो नमस्ते खिलयज्ञतन्तवे स्थितौ गृहीतामलसत्त्वमूर्तये दिष्ट्या हतोऽयं जगताम् अरुन्तुदस् त्वत्पादभक्त्या वयम् ईश निर्वृतः. Hare Krishna. If any devotees would like to recite, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Deva Uchu Namo Namaste Akhila Jagnatantave Sthito Gretamala Sattva Murtaye Dishtaya Yam Jagatam Aruntudas Tatpad Bhaktaya Bhayam Isha Nibritaha. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any other devotees?
देवावुचुः
Deva Uchu.
नमो नमस्तेऽखिलयज्ञतनवे स्थितौ गृहीतामल सत्त्वमूर्तये दृश्याहतोऽयं जगताम् अरुन्तुदास् त्वत्पादभक्त्या वयम् ईश निवृतः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Samataji, yes.
देवा ऊचुः नमो नमस्ते अखिलयज्ञतन्तवे स्थिता गृहीतमाला सत्त्वमूर्तये दिष्ट्या हतोऽयं जगताम् अरुन्तुदस्तवत्पादभक्त्या वयम् ईश निर्वृताः।
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll move on to the translations. word by
they
word sounds. Mataji, can you scroll the screen? Shobha Radhe Mataji, are you there?
Pranav Prabhu wants to sing, I think. No.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you, Mataji. So we'll read the synonyms first. Devaha, the demigods. Uchuhu, said. Namaha, obeisances. Namaha, obeisances. Te, unto you. Akhil Yagna Tantave, the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Sthitau, for the purpose of maintaining. Grahita, assumed. Amal, pure. Sattva, goodness. Murtaye, form. Dishtya, fortunately. Hataha, slain. Ayam, this. Jagatam, two. The worlds. Arun Tudaha, causing torment. Tvad, Tvat pada, to your feet. Bhaktya, with devotion. Vayam, we. Isha, O Lord. Nirvritaha, having attained happiness. Translation. The demigods address the Lord, all obeisances unto you. You are the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and you have assumed the form of a boar in pure goodness for the purpose of maintaining the world. Fortunately for us, this demon, who was a torment to the worlds, has been slain by you, and we too, O Lord, are now at ease in devotion to your lotus feet. Purport. The material world consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But the spiritual world is pure goodness. It is said here that the form of Lord is pure goodness, which means that it is not material. In the material world, there is no pure goodness. In the Bhagavatam, the stage of pure goodness is called Sattvam Vishuddham. Vishuddham means pure. In pure goodness, there is no contamination by the two inferior qualities, namely passion and ignorance. Therefore, the form of the boar in which the Lord appeared is nothing of the material world. There are many other forms of the Lord, but none of them belong to the material qualities. Such forms are non different from the Vishnu forms, and Vishnu is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. The sacrifices which are recommended in the Vedas are meant to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In ignorance only, people try to satisfy many other agents, but the real purpose of life is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. All sacrifices are meant to please the Supreme Lord. The living entities who know this perfectly well are called demigods, godly or almost God. Since the living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, it is his duty to serve the Lord and please him. The demigods are all attached to the personality of Godhead, and for their pleasure, the demon who was source of trouble to the world was killed. Purified life is meant to please the Lord, and all sacrifices performed in purified life are called Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness is developed by devotional service as clearly mentioned here. Hare Krishna. नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the today's morning Bhagavatam reading, and we are we are covering right today Canto 3rd, Chapter 9, verse number 30th. So, before I start, I seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. So, we just read the verse, and we have been discussing this pastime of Varahadev, how Varahadev has been slain, how Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha, and how Hiranyaksha was causing so much of disturbance, and the demigods requested Lord to kill him. So we read the translation how the demigods are, after the Hiranyaksha is killed, demigods are praying to the Lord. All obeisances unto you. You are the enjoyer of all sacrifices. You have assumed the form of boar in pure goodness for the purpose of maintaining the world. Fortunately for us, this demon who was torment to the worlds has been slain by you. And now we are at ease in devotion to your lotus feet. So this word we see, like this verse is after Hiranyaksha is killed. So we have discussed from ongoing classes every day that how Jai Vijay fell, and they took three births in this material world as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Ravana and Kumkaran, and Shishupalan Dantavakra. And this particular, like we are discussing about Hiranyaksha, and before we move on to the discussion, since we are discussing the pastime of Varahadev, I would like to offer a prayer from Dashavatar Stotra by Jayadev Goswami for Varahadev, Lord Varahadev. वसति दशन शिखरे धरनी तव लगना, शशिनि कलंक कलेव निमग्ना, केशवधृता शूकर रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of boar, all glories to you. The earth, which had been immersed in Garbhodaka ocean, at the bottom of the universe sits fixed upon the tip of your tusk like a spot upon the moon. So very beautiful prayer describing how Lord Varahadev picked up the earth from the bottom of the universe, like Garbhodaka ocean, and put it on his tusk. So we have discussed how Hiranyaksha stole the earth and hid it in the bottom. And Lord appeared as Varahadev and lifted the earth on his tusk and had a great fight with this demon. And the fight was also very amazing. We have read in detail how they fought very fiercely using different weapons, and Hiranyaksha used different mystic powers, and the demigods were watching it. Like the fight was so fierce, it was going on, and Hiranyaksha created many terrifying illusions, uh, but the Lord easily destroyed them. And finally, what the Lord did with his fist, he hit very strongly near his ear, and this demon fell down on the ground. So this we have already covered. I'm just little bit reviewing. So this form of Varaha, it's sometimes it's very people who are not devotees, less intelligent people, they might think it is an ordinary form, because uh, if when we see Krishna, Lord Ram, it's in a human form. But when we see Lord Vara, it's not considered very um, beautiful, or like it. Some people even consider like very dirty. Yeah? But it's very difficult for non-devotees to understand, but devotees can easily see the form of the Lord in that species also. So for Lord there is no constraint. He can appear in any species. There is no that he has to appear only in humanly form. He can appear, as we have seen here, as a shukar. We have seen in the pastime of in Canto 7, here he appeared as half man, half lion for Prahlad. Very different form, half man, half lion. It's very unusual form. We have seen in the pastime of Samudra Manthan, he appeared as a kurma, tortoise. So for Lord there is no restriction that he has to assume this form only or that form only. He can appear in any form, and in any form he comes, whichever form he comes, he is as beautiful. It's not that if he comes in the form of shukar, it's where it's lowly form or something like that. No, it's as beautiful, and Lord is totally uh, has full potencies. But for this pastime particularly, Lord took the form of Varha, boar. There are several reasons why Lord took this form. First of all, the task was to bring the earth from the bottom of Garbhodaka ocean. So it is the quality of a boar naturally that he digs and lifts things from down, mud or water, from with his tusk. So this was in this form. It was he could do it. Yeah, that he can do in other form also, but for particular pastime he showed that okay, I will assume this form. And one other reason we can think is that by coming in this form, Lord shows that he can appear in any form. He is not limited like us. We are very limited. We have this thing, we have this body, we can stay in this body like this only. We cannot change our face, or we cannot change how we look. We cannot change how tall or how whatever looks we have, we cannot change it. Whatever, because we are limited. But Lord is not, Krishna is not bound to any limitations. He can appear as an animal, he can appear as a human, he can appear in any form, and still he remains equal. Equal means fully potent, fully divine. In any species he comes. So these are the some. There are many other reasons, but these are the two reasons that I mentioned why Lord appeared in that form. So here, after the Hiranyaksh has been killed by Lord Varadev, these demigods are offering prayers. Uh, In Bhagavatam, we see there are many prayers, different prayers by demigods. In where there are prayers by Indra, prayers by Lord Brahma, and prayers by many other devotees. And by reading these prayers, what happens is we get purified. We get purification, because in our conditioned state, we don't know even how to do prayers. We are so conditioned in this material world, we don't know how to offer prayers also. So by reading the prayers by devotees, by different devotees, we we can also get that mood, uh, because otherwise it's very difficult for us, because we are so conditioned. So the demigods start by the offering respects. Deva uchuhu, he said, they means devata said. And the word namo namaste, it's said two times. It is repetition. They're saying obeisances and again obeisances. Two times they're here in this verse. If you see, namo namaste, namo also and namaste also. So both is referred to obeisances, offering respects to Lord Varadev. And we also, like, we repeat every day, we repeat Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We keep on repeating. So here also this offering respects, obeisances to Lord Varadev repeatedly. shows the humility, the gratitude of the demigods. So that's what the verse starts with. Then the second portion is Akhil Yagna Tantave. Here this means that how all the sacrifices of all he's saying the demigods is saying you are the ultimate enjoyer. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says in verse number 529, Bhoktaram Yagna Tapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. How that a person in full conscious of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of sacrifices and austerities, that's what he's saying, ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. Krishna mentions that in 529, that he is the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities. In verse number 924 Bhagavad Gita, there also Krishna says, I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita and many other places clearly mention that I am the supreme enjoyer, I am the proprietor. It's mentioned in several places. And I just referred the two verses from Bhagavad Gita 924 and 529. And in the purport of these verses, Krishna mentions how the people, for the temporary benefit, they worship demigods. They go to demigods for temporary benefit and not directly to the Supreme Lord. And Prabhupada in various lectures and various purports has given this example of how if we water the root of the plant, automatically the plants get nourishment. Uh, there is no need to separately water the leaves, the branches. There is no need, because when we water the root, automatically the whole plant is satisfied. It gets full nourishment. Similarly, if we offer everything to Krishna, then all the demigods, everyone is satisfied. Everyone is satisfied. There is no need to um, satisfy everyone. There's so many demigods, devi devtas. There is no need to do things for them separately. When we offer things to Krishna, all of them automatically get satisfied. One more example mentioned in scriptures is how when we feed, when we eat, the food goes in the stomach. uh, we don't put food on our different body parts, our hands, our legs, our stomach, our different body parts. We just eat the food and it goes into stomach, and by eating, going when it goes in the stomach, the whole body gets nourishment. So we don't need to separately feed different body parts. So same way, when we offer everything to Lord Krishna, then what happens? All the demigods, everyone, they all get satisfied. So here, that's what these demigods are mentioning, that you are the ultimate enjoyer of all sacrifices. So this shows that demigods know who Supreme Lord is, and not like the conditioned soul who think himself that I want to enjoy everything. I am here for enjoyment. I have to do things that gives pleasure to me. So this shows that how demigods knew that Lord is the supreme enjoyer. So that was the first section, the first line. Then the second line goes Titahu Grahitamala Sattva Murtaye. It's very important line, because the Lord can accept. We initially in the beginning how we discussed that Lord can exist, can take any form, any species. Right now we are discussing Varaha, and but there is no limitation. Lord is not bound by any limitation. He can take any form. What does it mean? If he comes in the form of a boar, does he become like that only? Yes, outwardly yes, but no. In one way it's no also. Why? Because in whatever form Lord comes, he is in pure goodness. Pure goodness means, in the purport, Prabhupada explains that how in material world there are three gunas, two inferior ones like passion and ignorance, and there is sattva guna. But here the Lord's form is told as pure goodness. In the purport, Prabhupada says Sattvam Vishuddham. Pure goodness means what Prabhupada said in the purport, that it's not contaminated. Here in the material world, the gunas are never alone. If someone is in pure goodness, he is not in pure goodness totally. The inferior gunas are also there with him, the tamas and rajas. Then he is not totally in pure goodness. There is no mixture, there is no contamination. There is contamination in the material world, but in the spiritual world, when the Lord comes, even in the material world when he comes, he is in pure goodness. So the living entity in the material world is affected by these three modes, but when the Lord comes even to the material world, he is not affected by the other modes. He is in pure goodness. There is no mixture of other gunas in him. So that's why here he said the form of the Lord is of pure goodness. There is no contamination. Prabhupada mentions that in purport also. Whereas in the conditioned living entity in the material world, they are never in pure goodness. They always have mixture of all the gunas. So that's what is mentioned in this section, and we can understand it with an example of uh, like a police person. If a police or a cop, he goes to a prison house, is he bound by the rules of prison house, what the prisoners has to go through? No. He just goes there and he maybe supervises or does whatever work he has to do, but he never has to follow the rules and the whatever things the prisoners has to follow, he don't need to follow. So that is the one example. And another example is, there might be a king who might dress up as a common man and goes outside in the some place, but he still remains a king. Maybe he is dressed in something different, but he still remains a king, and he don't need to follow the rules what other people has to follow. So same way, the Lord, when he comes to the material world, he is in pure goodness. Whereas living entity in the material world is never in pure goodness. There is a goodness, but it's a mixture. It's never pure goodness. So it is a very important point that how in material world there is a mixed goodness with passion and ignorance. But spiritual world there is pure goodness, and the Lord, when he comes to the material world, still he remains in a pure goodness. He is not affected by the qualities of the material world. So that is a very important point mentioned here, that how the Lord, even he when he came in the form of a boar, he is not like a material boar or pig we see. So that is one point. Then the third line is Dishtya Hatoyam Jagatam Aruntudas. That how you have the devatas are feeling very fortunate that by great fortune you have killed this demon. So they are feeling very relieved now. They are feeling very relieved because they were very disturbed because of the so much of havoc created by this demon. They were very disturbed. Everyone was disturbed. So they are feeling very relieved. Jagatam Arunduta. This demon was creating so much of suffering to everyone. Now you have killed him, you have slain him, we are very much relieved. So they are glorifying the Lord for this act. And in the last line, Tvat Pada Bhaktya Vayam Ishan Nirvrata. Now what we'll do? Now we are satisfied, we are peaceful. Why? Because now we can perform your devotional service peacefully. Previously there was so much of disturbance by this demon, but now he has been killed. Now we can perform our devotional service peacefully. So here, like if we see that devatas are not looking for any sense enjoyment. They are not saying now this demon is killed, now we will enjoy. There is no disturbance by anyone, we'll be enjoying. But no, they are saying now we will serve you. Now we can perform bhakti, devotional service at your lotus feet peacefully. So, because the real happiness in this life, real happiness for anyone is the devotion to the Supreme Lord. That is our duty. Uh, Other than that, any other activity we do will give only temporary happiness for maybe for some few moments, and then it will be gone. So these are the some important points we discussed from this shloka, that translation, and the purport. I will go to the purport also. There are some points in the purport that which I not covered, which I have not covered right now, which I want to go right now to discuss. So in the purport, if we see, first of all, we already covered that how Lord is the enjoyer of all sacrifices, how He is in pure goodness, and He never comes under the control of qualities of the material world. Then one other point mentioned in the purport is that how Lord uh, killed this demon for the demigods. Here Prabhupada writes, the demigods are all attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and for their pleasure, the demon who was the source of trouble to the world was killed. So Prabhupada writes, for the pleasure of the demigods. So in Bhagavatam we have seen the Lord is ready to do anything for his devotees. Yeah. That's why one of the name of the Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. He is ready to do anything for his devotees. He don't mind even doing any menial job. We have seen uh, many examples in Bhagavad Gita. We see how he became the chariot driver, how Krishna became the chariot driver of his friend and a devotee Arjun. Becoming a chariot driver is not a very high job or high thing, but just for his devotee he became that. Then we have seen the example of how he assumed the form of half man half lion for Prahlad, how when Draupadi was being insulted in the assembly, how Lord came in the form of sari, unlimited sari, for Draupadi. Then, in another example that I can think of, how when in the battle of Mahabharat, Krishna had took a vow that he won't be picking any weapon. That was the vow he took. But he broke that vow for Arjun. When Bhishma Deva was uh, shooting arrows, very strong arrows at Arjun, that time what Lord did, he pick up the wheel of the chariot and ran towards Bhishma. So for him, his vow is not important. He broke his vow for his devotee friend Arjuna. And there are many other examples like that how Lord Krishna is ready to do anything for his devotee. He won't mind. These are the few examples that I mentioned, but there are many examples like that in scriptures, and that's why he's called Deen Dayal, he's called Bhakta Vatsal. There are different names of the Lord based on his qualities. So that is the one point that is mentioned in the purport, that I how Lord for the pleasure of the demigods he took this form and killed this demon Hiranyaksh. Then the last line of the purport mentions that how purified life is meant to please the Lord, and all sacrifices performed in the purified life are called Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness is developed by devotional service as clearly mentioned above. So this Krishna consciousness, what we are when we are reading, we are every day we are reading, every day we are chanting, we are offering bhoga to Krishna, we are associating with devotees. Why we are doing all these things? We are doing all these things to purify our consciousness and become Krishna conscious. At present moment in this material world, our consciousness has been very contaminated, very contaminated. And by doing different processes of devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. By doing the devotional services, all the process of devotional service, we are purifying our consciousness, which is very contaminated. In the first verse of Shikshashtakam, Lord Chaitanya says, Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhav Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. So, Cheto Darpan Marjanam, our consciousness is very dirty right now, very contaminated from lifetime after lifetime. It has become layered, 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 so many layers of contamination. And to remove all those layers, what we have to do? We have to chant the holy name. We have to do Sankirtan. We have to chant the holy name of the Lord. Then that layer of covering that has been there from so many lifetimes will eventually get cleared and will be in purified consciousness. So this process of devotional service is very important for us. And when we do it seriously, we do it sincerely, then all the contamination will go away and Krishna will reveal. When Krishna sees our sincerity, he reveals himself to us. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upyantite. When Krishna sees our love and affection, our sincerity, then he gives us intelligence to understand him. Otherwise, who can understand Krishna? Krishna, it's not easy to understand Krishna. Uh, by when we see the form of a boar, when we see half man, half lion, when we see the pastime of Krishna stealing butter, stealing the garments of gopis, when we see this, the people who are not devotees, they get bewildered, they get confused. Oh, is this God who is doing all these activities? Uh, because their consciousness is contaminated. But when we do bhakti, devotional service, our consciousness become purified. That's what is mentioned here. Our consciousness will become purified, from contaminated to become purified, and then become Krishna conscious. So that is what our aim is. We have gathered here. We gather here every day in the morning. Every weekend we meet at the temple, and during the weekdays also sometimes we celebrate different festivals together for one purpose only. We all want to become Krishna conscious and we all want to love Krishna. That is the main purpose. We are not here for some mundane benefits. But Krishna will, even if someone come for mundane benefits, Krishna will take that person also. But that is not the main goal. Our main goal is to love Krishna. And that is the purpose why we meet with each other, why we read Srimad Bhagavatam, why we chant every day, why we do different limbs of devotional service every single day. That is the main purpose, to become Krishna conscious. And here, these demigods have offered this beautiful prayer. The prayer is very beautiful. How they have glorified the Lord. You are the supreme enjoyer. You are in pure goodness. You do anything for the happiness of your devotees. They are glorifying the Lord, different qualities of the Lord. So we should learn from. We should also glorify the Lord in that mood, and pray to the Lord. Pray to Lord every single day in humility, that we also get the humility in us and pray to the Lord in such a mood, and not consider ourselves as the supreme enjoyer, or we want to enjoy. Rather, we should focus on the point that it is our duty. Savai pumsam parodharmo. What is our duty? Bhakti to adhokshaja, Krishna. That is our parodharmo. That we should do every single day without fail. So, thank you everyone. Hare Krishna. So, if anyone has any comments or any questions, we can take that now. Hare Krishna. Thanks for your kind listening. And if any thing wrong, any mistakes by done me, you can correct me in that also. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Matati. Very beautifully explained. I just want to thank you for the wonderful lecture. Thank
Hare,
you so much.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Uh, okay, I don't think so. Anyone is there anything in chat? Yeah. One devotee said Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I think there's no question, nothing. So we'll end for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. So Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhe evacha patitanam
Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Ananta Koti Vaishnavind ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother Revati.
Hare Krishna.
Really appreciated your class.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your nice class, Hare Krishna.